Coming at you full-fledged, it's your boy Regg, with another video for y'all, man. Welcome, YouTube. Coming straight in, hit that like button, man. Share for others to see. Comment at the beginning, middle, and end of the video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. And let's get straight into it, man. So, if y'all been living under a rock, the conference finals of the 2022 NBA playoffs is officially over. It's done. The Miami Heat have eliminated the Philadelphia 76ers Thursday, May 12th in 6 games. As of today, I'm recording this on May 17th. So it's been 5 days removed. Brief details on that series. At the beginning, it was looking like, well, brief details. Brief details are, it went 6. Joel Embiid got a orbital bone fracture and minor concussion during the series, and he was out for most of it, and it was up to James Harden to step up, and like always, man, I'm gonna make a separate video on this. I ain't gonna digress too much in this video because this is already gonna be a lengthy one. But James Harden, man, I don't know what's next. I'm gonna just keep it short and say I don't know what's next for him in his career, man. It's just looking bad for him. Miami Heat. The defense is amazing, bro. They probably the deepest team in the playoffs still. People forget that they're still the number 1 seed. People forget that they're still the number 1 seed. And Jimmy Butler, of course, MVP of every series. This particular MVP of this series. Max Strus did his thing. Tyler Hero had a couple of good games in this series. Victor Oladipo performed well. Victor Oladipo performed well. And Kyle Lowry was out. So they did all that, and the Miami Heat still prevailed. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Memphis Grizzlies Friday, May 13th in 6 games. That was a good series. It was a very good series. But that PTSD, man, it's crazy. Jordan Poole, he was up and down this series. Stephen Curry performed well. Draymond Green, that closeout game, I think it was the closeout game where he had like 14 points. And so Draymond Green performed well. I got to give him credit. Game 6 Clay, man. Game 6 Clay, what can I say? Man, yeah, it was a good series. Ja Morant, of course, he got hurt, and it was not because of Jordan Poole. I'm glad that got resolved. Gary Payton II, in fact, just said that his injury, supposedly from Dylan Brooks, as the media and others say, was not his fault. It was a regular basketball NBA playoff play. I don't think it was intentional, but it was a flagrant. And it was the heat of the moment. Don't tell me that nobody is probably gonna do something in that situation like that. Like he maybe tried to block the shot and completely missed. He probably did it too early in the spur of the moment. I don't know, but definitely wasn't intentional. He got hurt, and the Grizzlies won a game, blew him out, had him in the 50s, blew him out as high as 50. And that just goes to show that they will be a team. They are the team for the future, and they will come back next season even better. But the Golden State Warriors advanced to their 6th conference finals in 8 years, and that's a good showing for them, man. This year is, in my opinion, this is their last shot. They have to win the championship this year, in my opinion, or they're gonna be a contender. They're gonna be a contender, but if they don't win it this year, the champion. I think the championship window is closed unless they get somebody in free agency, which I'm going to talk about later in the video. Yeah, because Kawhi and Paul George presumably about to come back healthy, and they finna have a full team with Reggie Jackson, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Morris, Kennard, all them boys. They might add somebody else, hopefully. You still got the Suns. Who knows what they finna do? The Mavericks now, the Timberwolves, Zion, hopefully, with the Pelicans and so on. But yeah, those aren't the games I'm really talking about. So those were the quick two little recaps about the prior ones. The final two games are the main topic of this video, and those took place on May 15th. Sunday, May 15th, in fact, in which both NBA Finals teams from last year were eliminated in 7 games. Now, first, we're going to acknowledge the winners. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics, man, and the Dallas Mavericks. First, of course, we're going to go to the series that ended first, which was around, I think this game started at 2, it started at 2:30. Yeah, this was the first game of the evening. Grant Williams' performance in Game 7, he was the player of the game for sure. He had his career high in threes in regular season or playoffs. Man, dude, if y'all was watching this game, y'all saw that man was shooting the shit out that 3-ball, man. He was shooting the shit out that 3-ball. He was 7 of 18, and he was a volume shooter, but he got them. Hey, when you got it like that, when you got the green like that in the Game 7 like that, and you keep shooting them, I mean, they just go in and win. We gonna go further into that. And when the defense is just allowing you to shoot it, and he keeps shooting it, he's not wavering at all. He's not going to the paint. You leaving him open, he's shooting it, and when he gonna do that, it's going in there. That's what happened in the game, man. Jason Tatum's heroics, man. Jason Tatum in this game was great. He, for the little time he was in, because he had 4 fouls, but I think he had 21 points. I think he was definitely in his 20s, but he was shooting the 3-ball well too, man. And by halftime, I mean, the Bucks were up, but I was thinking to myself, they should have been up by like 10, bro, because the Celtics weren't playing good in the first half, and somehow they were still up. They were still down like 6, 5, 4 points. And by time halftime come, I think they was up like 3 or 4. But yeah, it was Jason Tatum performed well for the little time he was in. Let's give props to Al Horford, who still has some gas in the tank, man, in this series. He well, to go back to Jason Tatum real quick, of course, I'm not gonna cover every game, but we're covering the closing games. But I'm gonna give credit to him for his 46-game performance in Game 6, and Giannis's performance in well, we're gonna get back to Giannis. We're gonna speak to Giannis in a minute. We're acknowledging the winners. Tatum, who had 44 in that game, after scoring 10. I think it was in Game 4. I think it was Game 5 or 4, one of those. He scored 10 points, and he showed up. He showed up when it mattered most. And I was after the game, I got on his head a little bit. I said he was Kobe light, but he proved me wrong. And the Celtics advanced, of course. And moving forward, again, we're going to give congratulations to Al Horford, who had some gas in the tank in this series. He scored his career high in playoffs, which was 30 points. I think that was Game 3 or 4. I was watching so much basketball, so I think it was Game 3 or 4. So, yeah, Al Horford played great defense. when Brook Lopez wasn't on the court to nullify his play. No, not with Bobby Portis. I mean, was not on the court to nullify his play. They was leaving him open to score. Like, it was because Brook Lopez, while he's a good interior defender, man, he can't guard that three ball. And Kenny Smith, I've been watching Inside NBA lately, a little frequently, and Kenny Smith made a good point. If you're a center, I think he was talking about Rudy Gobert, but this still applies to Brook Lopez. If you're in the NBA and you're a center, you don't even necessarily have to shoot the three ball well, but you gotta defend it. And Brook Lopez is not a good perimeter defender. And again, when he was on the court, Al Horford was cooking, and that dunk on Giannis, that dunk on Giannis and the previous dunk on Horford, those are some of the highlights of that series, man. And it was a good series. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum showed that they can definitely coexist. Now, we always thought that there was an issue in Boston, that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can't coexist. They always so inconsistent. We can't identify who's better than who. Is it one game, one stretch of games, it's Tatum. The other stretch of games, and including on defense, and shooter splits in some cases, even still in some cases probably, Brown. But now we definitely know that they are in order with this team. They know their roles. Jason Tatum is indeed the star franchise player of the Celtics team. And it's coming all together under first-year head coach Ime Udoka, man, who is certainly, without a shadow of a doubt, a top-tier coach in this league, man. Like, he last season, he was on the Brooklyn Nets staff, and prior to that, I think he played in the NBA for a while. I think he was on the Spurs. I think he did a stint on the Lakers for a while. But yeah, he comes from the Greg Popovich tree, so this guy can play. And shouts out to Two Off for Sports for this. I've been watching a lot of his videos. I'm gonna put his channel in the description below so y'all can subscribe to his channel. He's been talking about this a lot. He said that, and I agree, and I seen it, that Ime Udoka was going to out-coach Mike Budenholzer, man, and he did, and this Game 7 showed it, man. Usually Game 7 is like slugfest, like last-minute, go-ahead basket, clutch steal, clutch block, clutch turnover type thing, but this one was a blowout, and I know the Celtics had this in them because I just saw them shooting threes the whole game. I'm like, damn. And as big as a blowout it was to the Bucks, I think the Bucks still had more points in the paint than them. So that's all the Celtics was doing the whole game, was shooting threes, bro. And it was crazy, man. It was crazy. Dude, what a game. What a Game 7. What a tool to unlock in your team. Shouts out to Udoka, man. Shouts out to Udoka. It was the Boston 3 party, not the Boston Tea Party. It was the Boston 3 party again. To get specific, the Celtics outscored the Bucks in a plus 159 point differential on 3-pointers in that series, and specifically 53 more threes than Milwaukee, man. That's crazy. Y'all see it. Y'all hear it right there. Man. The 3-point shot, man. In this league, it's a make it or miss league, and they made them. And the Bucks, in some cases, wasn't even trying to make a miss. Robert Williams, the third, one of their crucial pieces to their defense. Giannis still doing his thing. He going through the wall. He's going 3-man. He's spinning dudes into dunks, holding on to him. They can't stop him. Even without Robert Williams the third, for the third straight game, the Celtics came out on top as it was a next man up mentality. I think Peyton Pritchard had a good game. Derek White got a clutch 3 when he needed. I think he was like 0 for 7 or something like that. Then he hit a clutch 3, and that was an important 3. That's one of the 3s that got them in control. I got worried after he hit it because, when it's a game like that stature and a dude that ain't been making the shots the whole game start making a shot, that's when you got to worry because the team getting in a rhythm. And that's what happened. So it was a next man up mentality again. Back-to-back series for the Boston Celtics, beating superstars, bona fide superstars in a series. One in a sweep, the other the reigning champ, the reigning Finals MVP, in a 7-game series at home in a closeout game. Like, what a way to go. I think this is their second conference finals in 3 years. And again, prior to my other videos on my other video on the Celtics, their last series against the Nets was their third first round sweep in 4 years. So they on their way, man. Brad Stevens, it's looking like maybe he should have got fired up. He should have got fired up because, I mean, yeah, it's unfair. It's absolutely unfair, without question. But it's looking like he what he's doing because he got Ime Udoka and they building a real culture down there, and it's looking dangerous as they are in the conference finals now. The Dallas Mavericks. Spencer, to start off, let's talk about Spencer Dinwiddie, man. Who is one of my favorite players. He's one of my favorite players. He's been one of my favorite players all the way since he's been on the Brooklyn Nets with D'Angelo Russell. I always liked this game. Matter of fact, even before that, when he was on the Pistons, I always liked this game. He like 6'4", he a big guard, man. I like big guards, bro. I like tall guards, bro, and smart guards. And he reminds me of one of them. And I always knew he had the potential. And after that, I thought he was gonna work on the Wizards, but we heard like it's some backstage. It was some locker room issues. He didn't want to be there type thing. So it's being shown on this Mavericks team though, man. He put up 30 points and played a phenomenal game. Again, putting up 30 points off the bench, shooting 11 to 15 from the field, and 5 for 7 from the 3-point line. So, in a game seven off the bench, Spencer Dinwiddie, 30 points. Those shooting splits, that's amazing. Congratulations to him, and what a performance by who, because he had his on and off games. I think game 1 was like he struggled in game 1, those first 2 games actually, and he adjusted, and he and Luka are getting their chemistry together because I think Dinwiddie is originally a point guard also, but it looks like he's willing to come off the bench for the sake of the team. And, I mean, that might be what's best considering the injury he came back from, even if he still thinks he could produce starting minutes. But, again, it's looking like it's working for the Mavericks, for sure. Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, and Dwight Powell had a great defensive game. Go look. I mean, I know people like to go get on the box score, guys, but I actually watched the game also. Go look at their plus minus, man. Look at their defensive impact. Look at the highlights. Look at the game. If you watched it, you would have had to watch the game to see their defense, to see Finney-Smith, Bullocks, and Powell's defense. It was a sight to see. They trapped everybody. Trying to get straight to the cup on isolation plays. They trapped Chris Paul, preventing him from getting a real rhythm. They trapped Devin Booker, even Luka Doncic, but we're gonna get to him in a minute. But those three, yeah, those three. Congrats to those. Commend those guys on their performance for sure. Great defensive performance in the Game 7. Jalen Brunson, who has recently been noted to be one of the best interior scoring guards, put up 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists off 11 of 19 from the field, and 50%, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. And similar to Dinwiddie, this is kind of a pattern throughout the game. The guards were just getting whatever they wanted, either if it was the three or the paint. Again, Brunson, being one of the best interior scoring guards, was playing bully ball. I don't know how tall he is, but he was going through dudes. One of the plays I remember throughout the series was when Brunson, he was going to the paint, and it was somewhat of a flop, but it was contact. Brunson kind of Booker just kind of bounced off of him. That guy, he's strong, man. If you can get that many points in the paint as a guard at his size, you gotta have some intimidation factor to you. And just like Dinwiddie, he was getting whatever he wanted from the 3-point line and in the paint. And yeah, Brunson stepped up in this series, in this game, after struggling in those previous games, after his great performance in round 1 against the who did Dallas face in the first round? Damn, how did I forget? Who did Dallas face? Damn, dude, it's been so much basketball. Who did Dallas face in the first round? I don't even remember, bro. I forgot who Dallas faced. But we gonna get back to that, man. It'll come back to me. I'm not even looking at my laptop right now, and it's right in my face. But to transition, man, let's get into Luka Doncic, bruh. Luka Doncic, who capped off a great series. And in this game particularly, he put up 35 points, 10 boards, dished out 4 dimes, had 2 steals, and his shooting splits were 12 and 19 from the field, 6-11 from the 3-point line. And another showcase game for Luka, man. We saw what he did in Game 6. Game 7, man. I thought the home court was going to be a determining factor in his performance, but it wasn't. It was a showcase game, man. He, Dinwiddie, and Brunson all 3 of them were going at the Suns' isolation plays, getting whatever they wanted. For Luka, it was step back after step back after step back. Man, a little up and unders in the paint and shit. It was, man, these dudes, Chris Paul, who they were attacking primarily, couldn't get it. He had no answer, man. They was going right for him. They was like, we about to nullify him right now if we're going to make him exert all his energy on defense. And on the offensive end, we just going to, again, we're going to lock him up with Bullock, Powell, and Finney Smith. And we're not going to allow him to get into a rhythm. And it was a great game plan. And shouts out to all-time great point guard and head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd, who coached this team to a 7-game series win after being down 2-0 against the winningest team in the NBA this season. Now, again, like I just said a couple of seconds ago, all-time great point guard. The way his defensive game plan on Chris Paul was crazy. I'm pretty sure y'all saw the Instagram. I mean, it was all throughout social media, but I've seen it on Instagram. The video of him going, oh, baseline, trap, down, stay home, shit like that. Man, that was a great visual, man. Jason Kidd, this ain't his first stint as a coach. He had a stint on the Bucks with Giannis. I spoke about that on the Giannis MVP video, and he had a stint on the Knicks. So, but this time around, he's a little more seasoned, and the game plan. This is what I love about playoff basketball, man, because it's like chess. You get to see not so much every now and then throughout the regular season, but not so much. But in the playoffs, you get to see the adjustments and you could really see the adjustments that were made. And seeing how another great point guard coaches a soon-to-be great point guard in Luka to neutralize the team led by another all-time great point guard and Chris Paul, that was just crazy, man. And Kidd's really maximizing the potential of his lineup, and specifically Doncic. Now, we know coming into the league, Doncic was already a triple-double threat. However, as we saw, when coached by Rick Carlisle, he and the Mavs couldn't get out the first round, losing to the Clippers in both playoff appearances. The first one in 6 games, and the second one was in 7. Now with Kidd, who was also at a time, if you basketball historians or you basketball researchers and analysts, aficionados, whatever you want to call yourself, if you know already, Jason Kidd in his career was known for being a triple-double threat as well, and he was even nicknamed Mr. Triple-Double. He's one of the all-time leaders in triple-doubles. So with him as head coach, I see him building his team similarly to how his Nets of the early 2000s was when he was going to the finals. And even a more recent comparison, which I've been seeing a lot on social media, was the Luka in this Mavs team comparison to the 2007 Cleveland Cavaliers. And I can see that. I can see that, man. I can see that. I'm definitely seeing that. I can see it's definitely similarities in the playing style, but I wouldn't say not in fact details, because that team had all-star Mo Williams, all-star caliber center Big Z, Drew Gooden. They had that team was I can see where they're going with that comparison, but it's not exactly the same, because that team, even still, that 07 team is still better than this Mavericks team. But I can see where they're going with that, and it's an accurate comparison to be made, because I've said it before. Luka is that new big old LeBron, but now Luka is a better version of Harden Russ style. He's better than Harden Russ, but they all got that same style that one man I can do everything. I can rebound, I'm a rebounder, passer, and I can get board style. Like I can do everything. Like the Oscar Robertson, Bron, James Harden, Russ style is now Luka style. But Luka, he's a little. I think he at this point he's a better shooter than James Harden. I think he's a better rebounder than James Harden too, and I think he's a little better passer than James Harden. And he might, at this point, he's a better defender than James Harden. He's all around a better player than James Harden and Russell Westbrook. That doesn't need to be said, but yeah, man, he can possibly Luka Doncic under Jason Kidd, and especially considering how the stats are hella inflated, and the triple double is like one of the most overrated stats in the NBA now. Luka Doncic got the potential to break Russell Westbrook's all-time triple double record, because I remember in his rookie season he already had he had the record for the rookie with the most triple doubles, I think, or something like that. I think he had like 2017 and like 21 triple doubles. So Luka Doncic, if anybody, he got, and all considering the amount he already has now, he has the potential to beat that triple double record. So be looking out for that, man. Congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Kidd, he did his thing. Came down from 0-2, 1-7. They won Game 6 and Game 7. And we gonna get to that later, man. It's hurting me right now. My heart kind of hurting right now. I ain't even gonna fake it. I'm joking. But I am a little salty. But we gonna get into that later. We transition to the Milwaukee Bucks. We transition to the losers, the first losers of the series tonight. Congrats to the defending champs in a valiant effort. First, All-Star Chris Middleton was out the last 10 games of this run, and they were one win away from the Western Conference Finals. In this game, the Bucks, led by head coach Mike Budenholzer, lived and died with leaving shooters open, hoping they missed. And unfortunately for the Bucks, they did not miss. They shot 22 for 55, 40% as a team from the three-point line. And again, as I said before, this was the winning stat of the game. But to talk about the Bucks, Brook Lopez, he went out swinging with 15 points and 10 boards, 3 blocks. His best block was against Derek White. He was going in for driving into a layup. I thought it was a dunk when I first saw it, but yeah, because I was doing something else. But then I kind of turned my head and I saw it, but I thought it was a dunk. But it was a layup. I think that was his best block. He was hooping. Off 21 shots, Jrue Holiday had 21 points and was 0 for 6 from the arc. Now, at least me, I give credit for Jrue Holiday being an all-time great defensive point guard. I don't know where I could put him. I don't think he's definitely not top 25 or top 30 point guards, but he's an all-time great defensive point guard. And as we saw in this game, he could be a little streaky offensively. 21 points off 21 shots. That's a little too much. If he made just 3 of those threes, he would have had 30 points. So, that's the difference in the game 7 like this, and when the Celtics were shooting threes like they were, and you go 0 for 6. So that's definitely one of the crucial pieces to them losing this game. Bobby Portis, another one, seemed to let the pressures of Game 7 get to him as he broke his goggles, headed to the bench, and ended the game with 10 points, 6 boards, 1 steal, and 1 block. Jaylen Brown in this game was just going at him. He was they were at home, so the refs not giving blame on the refs, but when you at home, you're gonna have home court advantage with the calls. So they were getting their calls in their favor, and again, he was in his head. We didn't see the confidence he showed, in that last playoff run where they won the championship, and he was neutralized. I mean, he was effective, but it wasn't. I mean, he put up some numbers, but his production wasn't enough. And now we move to superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo, who played 43 minutes in this game and ended the contest scoring 25 points off 10 of 26 shots, grabbing 20 boards and nearly capping off the triple-double with 9 assists, also blocking a shot and having 2 steals. Now, while the Greek Freak willed his team to 7 in this game, more than any of the other 6, it was 1 against 5. As y'all see, he really didn't get too much out of his team. For the longest, Milwaukee was stuck at 57 points. I swear, it was like at least a good 3 to 5 minutes. Milwaukee was like at 57 points. They were 4 of 33, 12% from the 3-point line, and they tried to match what Boston did from the 3-point line, but the shots weren't going in. When the team is shooting threes like that, I don't think you match it. You just defend them, and you get easier points in the paint, and you put the defense on. That's how you put the pressure on them on defense. And they weren't putting the pressure. They weren't defending. They weren't defending the Celtics well. And they were trying to mash them for 3, and they weren't falling, and they kept shooting them. So, yeah, that was one of the reasons they lost. And saying that, I don't hold anything against Giannis Antetokounmpo at all in this series. I think he maxed out. He maxed out the potential of this team in the situation they're in right now. He was the first player to score 200 points, grab 100 rebounds, and 50 assists, I believe was the stat. And that stat right there goes to show he willed the team. He willed the team in every area he possibly could on both ends of the floor. And I think while he just got eliminated in 7 games, I still think amongst all the superstars, all the 5 superstars that we know who the 5 superstars are: Giannis, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, KD, and Bron. Out of all the 5 true superstars in the league, Giannis is still the best of them all, I believe. But the best in the world title, that's definitely open since the throne has been lost by the reigning finals MVP. But indeed, Giannis is still a top 5 player in the league without a doubt. Not the best player in the world, but still the best superstar in the league. And still a top 5 player for sure. Save the not so best for the last, man. The final loser of this night. One of my favorite teams. The Phoenix Suns, man. I gotta admit, I stopped paying attention to this game heavily at halftime because by then, the game was over, man. The game was over. I'm not even gonna cap. I stopped. If you've seen this game, the people that watched it live, the game was over by halftime. So you would feel me, and especially if you were a Suns fan. Some people that was hate watching, that wanted the Suns to lose, they enjoyed the whole thing. I couldn't watch it, man. I had it on, but I wasn't looking at it. So it was just too bad. It was too bad to see. What felt like an eternity, the Suns was stuck at 27 points. Dude, it felt like they could not get a basket, man. Luka Doncic had the same amount of points as the Suns at 27 for a point in the game. It was embarrassing, man. We were stuck at 27, bro. Like, crazy. Devin Booker, he showed me that he needs more work. He needs more work as a primary player on our team, man. As he scored just 11 points, shooting 3 of 14. It ended the contest with an awful -41 plus minus, man. -41 plus minus. He needs to, during this offseason, Devin Booker needs to, try some drills where, try some little more physical drills, some contact drills, some contact layup drills or something like that. So he can get a little more tough, man, because in the playoffs, bro, you got to get down and dirty. And while Devin Booker, one of my favorite players on my favorite team, he kind of, bro, he played pretty, bro. While they compare him to Kobe, Kobe was rough, man. Kobe wasn't scared to get his hands dirty, man. I see Kobe play injured and stuff. Booker, man, you gotta put in some contact drills or something, man, because, dude, when you couldn't get to your spots, bro, you tried to draw fouls, you tried to be physical at the beginning of the game, but after that, bro, after you saw you couldn't get that and you couldn't get in your spots, bro, you conceded 14 shots in a game 7, bro. You should have put up double of that, if not more. Like, that's not enough at all, man. And in defense, bro, you weren't there. You weren't there on defense. You weren't even there on defense, bro. You were just disengaged, bro. Like, and you were a solid defender. As people say you were a bad defender, bro. You were a solid defender all season, and in this game, I could contribute this to the fact that you've never been in a game 7. This is your second ever playoffs. But at the same time, bro, like, you gotta, like, what happened, bro? After they went up 2-0, bro, you and your backcourt buddy have been terrible. Like, what happened? Y'all just imploded. Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, who have been two-way threats the whole season, bro, who already were being limited offensively in this series, were complete liabilities on the defensive end, bro. They let Dinwiddie score 30 off the bench. Man. Cam Johnson was the leading scorer with 12 points off the bench. That cannot happen. How the hell does Cam Johnson lead the team in points? Man, I think more bench players had I know more bench players had a higher plus minus than all the starters. I think all the starters had negative plus minus. I kind of like the plus minus stat. I'm sorry if y'all have noticed that. I do like the plus minus stat. It could be misleading at points, but in this case, it shows the impact that those players did not have. DeAndre Ayton, man. DeAndre Ayton was on Amber Alert in this game, man. He was on Amber Alert. He was missing. He was completely missing in this game, bro. He scored just 5 points in 17 minutes of play. And he After I think it was after like a shot Lucas shot on him, man. After that, I think he was like done. He was done with the game, bro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard the news throughout several content creators that Coach Monty Williams from Skip Bayless, actually we heard this from his source was Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne saw Monty Williams' mouth. He lip read Monty Williams' words, and he saw that he told Ayton that he fucking quit on him. And that's what it looked like, man. 5 points in 17 minutes. He didn't even play the fourth quarter. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, man. Like, man, I don't. Shouts out to the Dime Dropper podcast, man. I completely agree with you as a Suns fan. Well, we spoke about this before, and if you see my videos, I am a Clippers and Suns fan. But in this case, for the Suns, DeAndre Ayton was supposed to be the second option, and second leading scorer on this team. Not just throughout the playoffs, but the regular season as well. And as we see now, DeAndre Ayton is feeling the same way, and I don't know about his future in Phoenix, man, after this series. I think his future was in question all the way back last year after the finals when they gave that max to Mikal Bridges. While Mikal Bridges certainly deserved it, again, DeAndre Ayton, who was supposed to prove his worth in the regular season this year, he played well. They got 64 games, but he didn't really have he played all-star level. He played all-star level. He didn't make I don't think he made the all-star game, but he was close to making the all-star game. But he didn't have the numbers to like say, okay, he didn't have those bona fide numbers to say, okay, you're an all-star. So, and including this performance, I don't know if he's going to get that max, and I really don't want him to leave Phoenix at all, bro. We worked hard to build this team, and he was one of the crucial pieces when we drafted him in 2018. I really hope we don't lose him, but if we do lose him, which would be extremely unfortunate, and we do still have JaVale McGee, but we would have to get somebody to replace him. He can go anywhere. I don't care where he goes. He can go anywhere except Golden State. Anywhere except Golden State. He would never go to the Lakers, but anywhere but Golden State. Please, it's Phoenix. Try to sign him. If it ain't the max, try to give him something there. Make him stay for at least, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you want nothing but the max. Maybe he's not a max player. Even if they won 64 games. I mean, shit, y'all beating the hell out of teams. You could have put up some more points and rebounds or something. And when you look at it that way, maybe you're not a max player. But anywhere but Golden State. Because if Golden State get them, I told y'all that this is Golden State last chance. They got to win the championship last year. If they get Ayton with Jordan Poole and Draymond Green and the returning Klay Thompson with Steph, man, that might just extend their championship window. So anywhere but Golden State if Ayton leaves. Coach Monty Williams, Coach of the Year. Definitely deserved it. But he was outcoached by Kidd, man. He was outcoached by Kidd in this series. Williams, who played in the NBA, he played in the NBA, but he wasn't a point guard. I think that's that's the primary advantage Kidd had over Williams. And again, that game plan he had on Chris Paul. For the 5th time in his career, has blown a 2-0 lead in the postseason. For the 5th time, Chris Paul has blown a 2-0 lead in the postseason. Man, 10 points in 31 minutes as he was completely obsolete. He was completely irrelevant in this game on both ends of the court. This has got to be one of the worst losses of a championship caliber team I've ever seen. I mean, we just made it to the finals last year. We were 8-0 in the bubble. I think our record was like in the 3 digits to 2 digits since 2020. Like, how do we lose like this in a Game 7? Now, some of the reason I can see Chris Paul and Jay Crowder are the only 2 people that have had Game 7 experience, but the whole team collapsed, man. The whole team collapsed. Devin Booker collapsed. CP3 collapsed. Ada collapsed. Mikal Bridges was struggling. Jay Crowder was struggling the whole series. Like, only consistent person really was JaVale McGee and Ian Wainwright and Cam Johnson. Those are the people those are the only people who were consistent. Historic season. 64 games in the trash, man. In the trash. Again, shouts out to Two Raw for TV, man. I want to say I'm thinking about it too. He just dropped a video asking if Chris Paul is still saying that he's not certain that Chris Paul is still a top 10 point guard. Last year, after leading another team to championship contenders and the finals in Phoenix, Arizona, on the Phoenix Suns, I had him finally crack the top 10, surpassing Steve Nash. But after a 5th 2-0 blown lead, I definitely can't say he top 10 no more, man. And I'm not putting Steve Nash back in because Chris Paul still made the finals, and we can't take that away from him on his team. And he led them to their winningest season, so he's still better than Steve Nash. But in replacing those, Steve Nash is now 12th all-time point guard. Chris Paul is now 11th, and number 10 is going to be who I originally had at number 12. Was Nate Tiny Archibald. League leader in points and assists the same season. Nobody's ever done that. 34 points, 11 assists. In the 1970s, amongst the trees, the big centers, the Wilts, the Kareems, the Bob Laniers, the Bill Waltons, the Walter Bellamy's, the Artis Gilmore's, etc. Amongst those guys, and eventually won a championship with the 1980 Boston Celtics at the end of his career as a great piece. I gotta say, and all the help Chris Paul has had, just the collapsing, the mental collapse, the physical disappointments, and the bad luck, and the mental collapses. With all the help he's had, I can't say that he's better than Nate Archibald, because Nate Archibald really didn't have any help on the Kansas City Kings. I think he was on for a while. Then he was on the Celtics. He was on multiple teams, Nate Archibald. But I definitely agree. I don't think Chris Paul is a top 10 point guard anymore. The numbers say so, but he, like many, can't show up in the playoffs, man. Great regular season, but he had one run where he did transcend and make the finals. But one can say now that when he faces a fully healthy team in the Dallas Mavericks, they only missing Tim Hardaway, but when they face a fully healthy team, they lose in 7 games, and they got blown out in the 7th game. And top 5 defense, top 5 offense in the trash after this. After this game, it's looking like we gotta come back stronger. Some changes got to be made. We gotta hopefully re-sign DeAndre Ayton. If not, Chris Paul got to come off the bench or something. You got to come off the bench or something. Start campaign. Try to get a new big man or something, man. This can't be the end. There's a lot of people going in on this Phoenix Suns right now, but they weren't talking about them during the entire regular season. And I'm going to make a video about that too. But this video has been quite long, so we're going to wrap this one up, man. Questions. I got questions for y'all. I got questions for y'all if y'all can let me know in the comment sections below. Should DeAndre Ayton get the max? From being completely objective. Should DeAndre Ayton get the max? If not, what team do you think he fits best on outside of Phoenix? Objectively, are the Suns done? Will the Suns ever reach another NBA Finals in this decade? Or with Chris Paul, for that matter. Will the Suns reach another NBA Finals with Chris Paul and in this decade? Where do the Bucks go from here? Who wins these series? Like I said earlier in the video, this is the Celtics' second time in 3 years making the conference finals. The last time was against their now opponents tonight, the Miami Heat. They face them. Who do y'all have winning that? Again, people sleep on the fact that the Miami Heat still the best team in the playoffs. Even if the Celtics had the harder road, some could say the Heat have had the easier road because they just are the better team. Because they did have the MVP and the Sixers also, who were no slouch at all. But Embiid was out. But again, that's gonna be something interesting to see. Who do y'all have between the Mavericks and the Warriors, and in how many games? Let me know. Again, it's your boy Regg, Regg. Like this video, comment at the end, beginning, middle, and end. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I drop. Share this video. If there's a particular topic you want me to speak on, hit that link in the comment section below and donate to the Regg, and I'm out.